Shit. Hey, Mr. Leahy. What's up? Back on the audio grind. No. I'm on the lumatone grind. I have contrast. The new wavetable synth. I mean, I didn't buy it. I have the demo. I kind of want to learn how to use that, but I don't know. I really want to look at some stuff in 31. Shit. God, I've been on a roll the last like 2 days and now it's fucking gone. Every time I think, oh, I'm actually getting good at this, I am corrected. Shit, I knew it was minor 7. I do need to get good at production though. But it's hard. I mean, I got the lumatone. I feel like I need to do that more than I need to learn to produce. Although I really need to do both. Well, I mean, I gotta finish this album. I do work on production stuff. I mean, I'm making this album, I guess that counts, sort of. But I've been doing sound design tutorials once a week. I just don't do it on stream. And I did a little sound design stuff the other day on stream. Hey Daniel, what's up? The only way to learn it is to load 343 images until it sounds genius. Yeah. Alright, got it. We hope his poor wrists survive it, because without Mr. Gordon, probably humanity will have forgotten how to play the lumatones. Ah, humanity. Who'll be okay without me, man? I wish I was that important, but I'm only important important the way a fucking butterfly and all that other bullshit's important. Fuck. Huh? Ah. Shit. Come up with the 13 limit tonnets and you're messing with it? What's that? What's the 13 limit tonnets? Sounds like some Doman shit. Man, speaking of Doman, where the hell's Doman been? It's my missing moderator. I know he's been streaming. He hasn't really been on XA either. I don't know what happened to him. He put out an album the other day. I haven't listened to it yet. He sent the rats to hell. I guess he's probably just busy. The last time, or one of the more recent times he was here, which it's been a while now. It's been a few weeks. He was saying he was busy with IRL stuff. So maybe that's still happening. Fuck. I'm really hoping I'll get up to 500 subs by the end of the year. And when I first thought of that, it was like probably back in March, and I was like, oh yeah, that'll happen easy. Because I was getting a bunch of subs back in March. But now I'm thinking it's probably not going to happen. I'm going to be kind of bummed out, but I don't really know what to do except start bugging people to watch my stream. Which I don't think I'm going to do much of that. Mrs. Donut? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Shit. I knew that was wrong. Damn. Jeez. Ooh. Alright, there's a couple things I want to look at in 31. I keep seeing people online with like questions about 31 and stuff. And nobody's really asking questions about 27 or 22. So I don't know. I feel like I should start looking at 31. Mr. Donut is okay. Very nice. Well, yeah, alright, cool. You were composing a barbershop quartet in 22 earlier and miserably failed? Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I like 22 a lot, but can't imagine it's easy to write a barbershop quartet in that tuning. So, I don't think that's in tune. Someone in xenharmonic Alliance Discord was actually wondering about leading tones. And they were specifically curious about 31, it turned out. So I was kind of looking at this earlier. It kind of seems like the diatonic seventh is not as strong of a leading tone as the Edo step above that. But it doesn't fit as well harmonically. That chord sounds kind of funny compared to this one. But it kind of seems like maybe if you have like a melodic passage, but I think the diatonic seventh works fine though. But I was wondering like what context would it sound better with the leading tone? Like the sharper leading tone? Actually, someone was talking about 22. Some people were disagreeing with me about 22. Oh man, my computer's lagging. So I want to double check. Yeah, I mean, I think both the downbeat and the B work as a leading tone, but it's just a funnier sound. Just sounds like it might go somewhere else. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like this. I mean, I don't, it just doesn't. I don't know what they were talking about. I just think they don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they don't know, but I just don't agree. Send the dissenter straight to hell. Oh, it looks like my chat's not caught up. Oh, mini meters is not working. You know, why does this shit happen, dude? This fucking computer sucks ass, man. Alright, 31. Yeah, it's like not really like there's like different options for leading tones, but it doesn't mean that they're like all sound like a leading tone in the normal sense. See, I think 31's super major. It's a little more chill than 22's. So, I don't know. I feel like it's a little more majory, like stable, I guess. But it's still very similar. I mean, it's still super major. Yeah, I feel like the super major 7th, I guess, in 31 is a little more normal sounding, I guess. I mean, it's not, doesn't sound more normal than the diatonic 7th. But compared to like 22, it's a little more normal sounding. The thing is, the diatonic sounds kind of just better, I guess. It just sounds more in tune with the scale. So I don't know if that's, like, how much of that is a consideration. Like, I guess a good leading tone wants to pull to the tonic, right? Like I like it. I like it going to the tonic. I think more when I'm not playing the G chord, or like the G underneath. Although honestly it's fine. Kind of a no big deal sort of thing. Like I think you can use either one. It's not really hurting anything. I do think this though, this chord is definitely kind of disheveled compared to that. But the tension can be nice to resolve. But yeah, it's kind of what I can't remember who it was, like Osmium or somebody was saying that about 22. Let's try the same thing in 22. Like if we went. It's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a huge deal, but it's more noticeable in 22. There's just something very. The super major in 22 sounds very. It's just very strange sounding. Not that it sounds totally normal in 31, but I think comparatively speaking, it's just a little more. It feels a little more normal, I guess. In 22, it almost feels like it's trying to do something else. I don't know what, but it kind of feels like it's trying to do something else when you go into that super pyth kind of space. But here it feels more like just an alternative, maybe. 13 limit feels too unwieldy. You're trying 11 limit instead. 13 limit. How many? Yeah, I guess depending on how many intervals you're using. Yeah, this is why I don't do JI. It's like too much to worry about. Now there's another note There's like a ultra major 7th, I guess, in 31. That's, I think 22's super major is a little closer to the, like the ultra, it's like it's between the ultra major in 31 and the super major. So the ultra major in 31 should be like a more extreme version of 22's. It does work. It's got kind of a cool, I mean it is kind of cool actually. But I was trying this earlier like in a 5 chord. Seems to work there, okay, but not as well as that. I think there's a sort of weird ambiguity about it. But I do think it has a leading tendency. But maybe not as strong as this. So I think the super major 7th has the strongest melodic pull to the tonic out of the 3. That one almost feels confused or something, and then this one feels very like it wants to pull, and then this one it has more of a restful quality than the other one. I think compared to that. That one would rather hang out compared to this one. But it could still resolve. So, can you resolve the super major 7th to the major 7th? You can. That's kind of cool. So that's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, that's very cool. So you can use that super major 7th to resolve to the major 7th. In 31. Now, can you do that in 22? Honestly, still haven't figured out what commas to temper out. 120 over 120, or 121 over 120, and 56, 55 make rank 3. That doesn't feel right. Ah, I see. So you're going for a temperament. Interesting. So let's see. Can we do that same motion in this? You can, yeah, for sure. But I I think it's more restful in 31. I think it works in 22, but I like it more in 31. It feels a little more stable in 31. I think just because the 5/4 is so stable in 31. And then of course the diatonic 7th is like the 15th harmonic. I'm pretty sure. I guess it's probably a little off because the 5th is a little off. But I guess because the 5th is flat, the 15th harmonic is probably flat too. So maybe that just like I think because everything tends flatwards in mean tone, like all the diatonic intervals, maybe the major 7th is like more, especially with the 5/4 being so pure, maybe the major 7th is like more restful. Because like in 26, where that's exaggerated, let's see, what happens if you do that in 26? So 26 also has a super major and an ultra major 7th. So wait, hold on. I could see. No, wait. 26 has, yeah, super major and an ultra major. So we're going from the super major to the major. But the major 7th in 26 is actually neutral. Let's see what that's like though. So can we resolve to that? I think you can pretty comfortably actually. So it's almost better than the tonic. It's not better compared to going to the tonic, but if you go to that major 7th, it's not like a great, it doesn't feel great to go to the tonic from that. So I think the major 7th in 26 is so flat, it's literally like a neutral 7th, that it really is like not even, it doesn't even really have that leading quality anymore. Yeah, it's pretty weak. That's much better. I think the super major is actually like pretty close to a regular major 7th. I think in 26 even it'd be fair to call this a neutral 7th. Call that a major 7th. And call that super major. Because I'm pretty sure this one is like 50, like 1155 or something. I think this is like 1060-ish. I think that's 11 something, and then it's like 1150 something. You landed on 15 Edo, 15 BDE more specifically, so that's the second best prime 3, second best prime 7, and second best prime 11. Right? A would be 2, B would be 3. No, I guess you would skip 2, right? A would be 3, right? Maybe not. An utter exotemperament. I don't really know what that is. What's it? Exotemperament? I've seen people say that word, but I haven't learned what it is yet. I guess when I take a break, I'll look it up. See, I guess in mean tone, so mean tone pushes, I mean, flat, it doesn't really become that noticeable until you get into like flat tone. But mean tone does push the diatonic intervals closer to neutral. So in a way it kind of like neuters the scale. So it kind of like attenuates that leading tone tendency, whereas if you're in like super Pyth, it does the opposite, where it extremifies everything. But the thing is that it doesn't take long, like the fifth doesn't have to be that sharp before the seventh becomes so sharp that it kind of conflates with the tonic. Because I feel like in 22, while it doesn't totally conflate, it's not like as strong of a, the leading tendency doesn't seem that strong, honestly. I guess if you throw in the third, or maybe like the tendency of the super major third to go to the major third is like stronger. But the super major seventh wants to go to the root more than it wants to go to the major seventh. I do feel like you can kind of resolve the major seventh to the super majors. Not exactly resolve, but you can use the super major seventh as an intermediate step, and it's satisfying. Doesn't feel like you're skipping anything. Try like You definitely can resolve from a super major 5 to the 1. I guess just because it's such a traditional like thing, it just sounds weird compared to. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't resolve as well or anything. It sounds a little off. I guess the weirdness of the sound is sort of distracting. But that's the other thing is like I kind of feel like those super major thirds want to resolve downwards. And I wonder if that has anything to do with why I feel like it's not as it just doesn't feel as obvious to resolve that way as when you do this. That feels more obvious. I mean, of course, that's what we've heard over and over again, or something more similar to that. But that, of course, has something to do with it. But I also just wonder if, like, that like super major resolving almost like a sus chord. I think that's the 22 Ito super major third, especially like in like a triad. It really kind of just sounds like a shitty major chord, and it's like that almost feels like what it wants to do. It just wants to be replaced with a better major chord. And I wonder if that gives it a downward resolving tendency. Although it can clearly resolve upwards too. That's definitely the case. But generally speaking, a leading tone has a very strong upward pull. I mean, 22 is kind of janky anyway, because nice tone is rank 3 and all that, but I mean, that feels pretty good right there, yeah. they both work. Ready to restream via your channel? Restream? What is that? This is a microtonal instrument. What does Ito mean? That's the divisions of the octave. So 31. I'm actually in 22 right now. I've been kind of like dancing around. It's the equal divisions of the octave. So instead of splitting the octave into 12 like we normally would, if you're in 31, you'd have 31 notes in an octave. Six, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. There you have it. Yeah, it's same as tat. Tempered equal temperament or whatever. Can you restream me? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I'm not sure what you're asking me. Are you asking me to do like the thing we were doing the other week? We can jam song for song if you want to. Not right now, dude. I'm kind of doing my normal thing right now. Do those sliders pitch bend, and how much do they pitch bend? This does pitch bend, but only if it's on channel 1, and it's just like any other. Like I'm doing this through a synth. So this is a MIDI controller, and I'm controlling piano tech. So depending on your synth, you can set the pitch range or whatever. Yeah, I'm using a Reaper right now. Here, I'll share my screen. Oh, what the heck? It's not. There it is. Okay, so I'm trying to share my clock, my dirty clock images. Yeah, so I have a bunch of instances of piano tech here. Set up for different tunings. So like if I want to switch to 27, I have to switch the layout, and then I have to go to the 27 one, and I'm in 27. And if I wanted to switch back to 31, I could do that. it's not. What's my favorite Edo? I've been messing with quite a few lately. If I had to choose one, I'd pick 22. But I've been messing with 27 a lot lately. I guess right now, probably my favorite's 27. But yeah, it's hard to like choose a favorite really. But yeah, 27 is the one I've been gravitating towards the most lately. But I'd say overall, I've spent the most time with 22. And I'm still really interested in 22. I just got a lumatone, so I can like try all these larger tunings than ones I was able to before. I feel like 24 would be cool to have those in between notes because you play guitar. I mean, there's like 22 equal guitars, 17 equal guitars, even 27, even 31 in fact. Shit, even 34. I mean, they're hard, like the more you split up the note, they're split up the octave, the smaller the notes are, the harder it is to play. You haven't heard of those? Yeah, man, there's all kinds of microtonal guitars. There's one of my favorite microtonal musicians. He plays a lot of 27 equal. Here's this picture of him. He's holding his 27 Edo guitar. So if you look at the frets on that, see how small they are? That one has 27 divisions to the octave. And he plays it super well. But yeah, it's hard to play. He has a 22 equal guitar too. It's got 27 frets to the octave. I don't know how many frets total, but it's a lot. I mean, you can see like how do I zoom in again? It's Command Plus or something. Yeah, you can see they get super small, but there's a ton of them. Yeah, it's like kind of too small. They're kind of too small. I didn't mean to turn the music off, but yeah, it's like it becomes like really annoying to play. Because you can't even like fit your fingers in between the frets, you know. But I want a 22 Edo guitar because it would be harder to play than like a normal guitar, but I don't think it would be too small to be like super annoying. And I really like the way 22 sounds. It's really dissonant. It's really dissonant to your ears since you're so used to A440 and 12-tet. Oh, really? But you might 31. 31 is a little like more like 12. But you can play some cool chords like that. It's close, but still sounds like an out-of-tune piano to you. What do you call those chords? How do you notate for this? So in 31, you can notate everything using your normal sharps and flats. You think it'd be cool with reverb? You can use your normal sharps and flats, but sharps and flats are now different. So, like, here's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then here's C sharp, actually these are flats. Here's D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, and then here's C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then we have, these are half sharps, so C half sharp, D half sharp, E half sharp, F, G, A, B half sharp, and then we have half flats too. So those are all half flats. So in 31 you have sharps and flats that are not enharmonically equivalent, so they're not the same. And then you have half sharps and half flats, but the half sharps and half flats, they are enharmonically equivalent with double sharps and double flats. So like going from C to D, you'd go C, C half sharp, C sharp, C sesquisharp or 3/4 sharp, C double sharp, and then D. And then if you went the other way, it would be D, D half flat, D flat, D sesquiflat, which is 3/4 flat, D double flat, C. So the half sharp, C half sharp is the same as D double flat, and C sesquisharp is the same as D half flat. And that's just in 31. So like depending on what tuning you're in, you might have different accidentals and stuff. How long have I been doing this? It looks so hard. It's a lot to learn for sure. I've been learning about microtonal music for like about 5 years, maybe a little less, but almost 5 years. And in that time, I've gotten progressively more like wrapped up in it. So maybe the first year, I just like tinkered around with some basic ideas. I was doing like 24 subsets and stuff, like retuning a couple notes on my electric piano, like making them half flat or whatever. But I started to like retune. I eventually started retuning my entire electric piano, so it was all like weird JI scales, and started getting into Itos and stuff. What's my favorite chord? That is a cool question. I don't know if I have a favorite. It's hard for me to really appreciate a single chord in isolation. I'll show you kind of that one I showed you a minute ago in 31 is kind of a crowd pleaser. Dude, my fucking computer is being so annoying. This one is the harmonic 7th chord. That's one that a lot of microtonalists really enjoy, and I enjoy it too. And then you can add the 9th and the 11th. That's like a classic microtonal chord that's really, really solid. But here's a couple chords I really like in 22. Dude, my computer is being so annoying right now. It's like lagging so hard. I just bought this computer last year, and it's like I spent all this money on it. It's like not, it's not like top of the line or anything, but it's like a new Mac Mini, and like it's supposed to be really nice. But I really like this chord. So it's a major chord, but with a super major seventh, and then I like adding. Wait, what's the? There's a couple chords I go to in this thing I wrote, and like, I think it was like, no, it's a super major chord with a major seventh. I'm sorry, I showed you the wrong chord. It's this one. It's a super major chord with a major seventh. And then the sharp 4 and 22 equal. And then I like going from that to 22 equals harmonic 11th chord, which would be like this. I love going between those two chords. So from here to here. You've heard of neutral chords? Yeah, those are in 31. They're also in 27. So here's a neutral in 31. So in 31 you have, do you use sheet music, or is there another way to notate it? I use sheet music. Well, no, I don't really use sheet music that much, but I can read it. I mean, I play piano, and I read like normal sheet music. I've also come up with my own chord names for 27 equal, which I know the print is really small, but they're right here. And then I've come up with some for 22 equal 2. Was right here in this gray box. And then there's like some ways that people refer to different chords. So like these are like, over here are the 22 Ito triads. So there's 16 triads in 22 Ito compared to just 4 in 12 equal. So I had to like come up with this. I didn't do it alone. I got a lot of help from a microtonal community, specifically the Xenharmonic Alliance Discord. I did had a lot of conversations in the Discord chat with different people, asking them kind of how they think about this stuff. And I came up with this system for 22 equal, and then I kind of extended it to 27 equal, which has even more chords because there's more notes. So it has 25 triads. And this one I did more. I just followed the same idea as the 22 equal chords, just applied it to 27, and then got a little help again when I kind of got stuck. from the same Discord server. Really just kind of one guy helped me out to finish the 2070 stuff. But yeah, the 22 chords, I know all those like quite well. Like I could tell you what they all are. I could play any of them. So to me, they're not that much. It's not that much of a headache. But I mean, you know, over time, you learn to deal with this stuff in your own way. So like, because most of this stuff isn't standardized. A lot of us are kind of just coming up with our own approaches to thinking about it, and just kind of sharing our ideas. And some stuff catches on, and other stuff doesn't. But yeah, if you like the sounds, it's totally worth it. But if you don't, then you know, it's a huge effort, so it wouldn't be worth it. So pretty much everyone involved, they're either like really into the math of it, or they're really into the sounds. And I'm really into the sounds. I don't really care about the math. I'm not really that into math. I think it's interesting, I guess, but I don't really spend a lot of time with that stuff. Do I listen to any 12-tet music? Well, yeah, of course. I mean, most of what I listen to is in 12 equal. I mean, you know, I'm 37 right now. I've only been into microtonal stuff for 5 years, so if that. So I've only been listening to microtonal music for about that same amount of time. And you know, I still have a lot of normal music that I enjoy, and shit, every time I go to the gym, like, they're just playing like radio stuff. I'm always hearing something like really cool just from the radio or whatever. No, it's not a dumb question. I mean, some people really do kind of isolate themselves from non-microtonal stuff. But yeah, I'm also like, I've been a musician. I'm a piano teacher, and I've been a working musician for most of my adult life. And there's not really any microtonal gigs, you know. So I do this stuff because I'm interested in it. But everything that's made me money is just normal, standard music stuff. So mostly just teaching piano lessons, but you know, occasionally playing gigs and stuff like that. So some normal music got boring. I mean, yeah, it does, like, microtonal music does offer a lot of stimulation that, you know, once you kind of go back, it's hard to feel. You don't really scratch that same itch. But there's so much to making music. Like, there's always something to work on and something to learn. So, you know, I'm still learning. I have a lot of vanilla music that I've written that I'm still either trying to learn how to play, or I need to record it. And so I'm still doing that. And you know, there's still a lot of skills I have yet to develop. I'm still like learning Chopin and trying to become a better improviser, and I want to get better at jazz, and I'm learning electronic music too, which I'm mostly doing microtonal stuff with that, but you know, it's bigger than microtonal music. I mean, electronic music production is its own thing. And you know, you gotta learn how to use the gear, and learn sound design, and learn mixing, and even mastering to some extent. Do I mess with tuning, or just stay in 440? I'm not like super into that whole thing, like adjusting your reference pitch. That's really not that interesting to me. Um, a lot of people who come on my stream who have perfect pitch, they want me to tune middle C to about 260, which is about where middle C is in A440. So that's my reference for all these layouts. I have C tuned about to 260 or 261 or whatever it is. So I'm not like, it's not like super precise. It's probably a hertz or two off or whatever, but it's about there. Middle C is about 260 on all these layouts. And I don't do it for me. I do it for the people who are going to ask me to change it so they're a little more comfortable. But it is good to have some kind of reference pitch, I think, though. And that's kind of the unofficial official standard or whatever. How them lumatone ergonomics going? I've been doing a lot of like looking at I was looking at the leading tones and stuff. 31, and then this N character has been asked. Oh, this is a cat. Yeah, this cat came in and has been asking some questions, so just been talking to them a little bit. But yeah, how you doing, Paliac? As far as like the ergonomics of like this is way more comfortable than this. That's for sure. But in mean tone, this horizontal Bose K gives you more range. So I want to learn this, but it literally hurts. So every time I start messing with it, I hurt my freaking elbow. And then I give up and just go back to the other layout. But in flip the lumatone 90 degrees, yeah. That's right. But in the like it's only a problem in mean tone if you're in SuperPyth, this layout gives you more range, but in mean tone it doesn't. So like if the fifth, this is something interesting about flat fifth tunings versus sharp fifth tunings, is that this angled Bose K is better in sharp fifth tunings, like pretty much all around, because not only do the ergonomics improve, and not only is it a more efficient use of the space, but you extend your range. However, in flat fifth tunings, while you do get the ergonomics, you actually lose range, unfortunately. So that is something kind of interesting, and I haven't found a good analog, like I haven't found a good analogous layout for flat fifth tunings. What's a leading tone in 31 or anything that isn't 12 tet? Like, isn't it a note before the root, or is it the same as 12 tet? Yeah, this is what someone was asking about in the Discord earlier. So like in 12 you have one leading tone. Like if you're in the key of C, your leading tone is B, you know? Which you have that same thing in 31. So like if you're in C, your leading tone is right here. But in 31 you also have two sharper notes that are, I mean, you have two notes between B and C. So you have B, which resolves to C, but you also have B half sharp, which also can resolve to C, and then you have B sharp, which almost sounds like a C, but can also kind of resolve to C, especially like melodically. So the question is like, which of these three leading tones is like the best leading tone? And obviously you can use all of them if you want. What's... So yeah, you have like, yeah, you have several. So I guess depending on the context, you might want to use one or the other. I think like if you have like a 5 chord going on, you probably just want to use the standard B. That seems harmonically the most solid, but this one could work, but it's sort of different sound, different chord quality. It's super major instead of major. And then this one harmonically I think is the weakest. Oops. Because it almost sounds like a suspension rather than a leading tone. Like that sounds like a sus chord, even though it's B sharp, G, B sharp, D. But I guess it does resolve, just kind of weakly. But I think melodically the B half sharp works the best. Harmonically I think B natural works the best. And then the B sharp can work, but it's kind of the quirkiest one, where it's like oh, it sits in that spot kind of, but it's not as it's a little, something about it is a little off. Like you might think something else is going on there. So you can pick how strong you want your resolution. So for a light resolution, B sharp would be good, but if you want a stronger one than B, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's, you're thinking like a composer. I mean, that is absolutely the case. But yeah. And then, yeah, so of course context would be the thing. Like, maybe you try it and you go, that's not really the effect I'm looking for. Maybe I need something stronger, and then you can do something stronger. But yeah, that's kind of a cool thing about microtonal harmony, is that like you have a lot of different options, and you can play with the existing tropes. Or you can even just try to explore new territory. Why not use the whole alphabet for these crazy tunings, like not repeating at G but at Z or something? There are some like proposed alternative notations that do that sort of thing, and I think for some tunings maybe they're fine. The thing is that if you're using a tuning that in any way has diatonic logic, like if you have a major scale in your tuning that sounds convincing as a major scale, and you have reasonably convincing harmony, then you want the 7 notes, because that tells you positionally more or less like where everything is, even if it doesn't always do it perfectly. So like in 31, because 31 is a mean tone and 12 equal is a mean tone, it has the same logic as 12. So things in 12 you could play in 31 pretty much note for note in 90% of the time. You might have to watch out for like enharmonic spellings of like certain chords, like diminished chords and stuff. But more or less you could note for note translate stuff from 12 into 31, and even vice versa, as long as what you have in 31 doesn't like stray too far outside of diatonic logic, like diatonic music. Yeah, like tonic, submedium. You mean submedium, I think, and then dominant, etc. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the thing is that like we were talking about the leading tones there. Like, what do the 3 leading tones have in common? They're all a B. They're all some kind of a B. So you have B half sharp, and you have B sharp. So what's the leading tone in 12 equal? Well, it's just B. But there is a B sharp in 12 equal, but it's enharmonically C. So you don't have that in 31. But in 31, all the leading tones are B's. They can be spelled as B's if you're in C, obviously. So like you can kind of extend the expected relationships from 12. Like you can apply that to like 31, and you can extend it. And by keeping the 7 notes, you can see like how all the notes relate to one another in the circle of fifths and all that. And then when you apply the sharps and flats, and then sometimes the double sharps, double flats, half sharps, half flats. And I didn't even talk about like ups and downs and stuff, but in 22 we use ups and downs. But once you apply the accidentals and all that, you can tell how everything relates to everything else in that tuning. And by keeping the seven note names, it makes all the diatonic progressions and all the familiar stuff a little more obvious. And then when you start to explore new stuff, it keeps it where you can kind of look at the new stuff and compare it to the old stuff without it getting too complicated. Whereas if you just added another 5 or 10 letters or whatever, that you would lose all that stuff. You would lose like C to G being a perfect fifth. The only way to not lose it would to basically be to replace like C sharp with like another letter, and like make the letters go in this weird like unexpected way where it kind of the notes interweave like chromatically, where basically like letters would replace sharps and flats, and like that's not really that helpful. So yeah, it makes sense to use the 7 letter system in a lot of tunings, if not all of them. Well, probably not all of them, but most of the ones that people like to mess with. Like most microtonalists don't go for tunings that are like that hard to deal with. You gotta go. Thanks for teaching me about this side of music. Yeah, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, I do enjoy kind of spreading the word on this stuff and talking about it. And yeah, thanks for checking out the stream. I will see you some other time. Have a good rest of your day. Oh, and yeah, if you're still here, if you are interested in this stuff, you can also check out the Xenharmonic Alliance Discord. I'll type that in. I don't have a link to it, but it's not hard to find. You just look it up on Google. You can find the link. But yeah. There's a tritone in this, and 31 is pretty gnarly. So yeah, 31. A minor, major, subminor. Dude, this layout seriously hurts my freaking hand, man. Every time I start messing with it. It's like the angle I have to put my arm is like not good. Alright, so we have major, minor, have subminor, the subminors sound pretty sick. And we have neutrals. So do we have yeah. So the neutral scale, the major scale, minor scale. Oh, that's minor. This was sub-minor. And then super major. Yeah, the sub-minor is quite nice. Rewound a bit. That's a great impromptu theory lesson teaching. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Maybe I should clip it. So this is all super major. That's sound minor. I guess because I'm playing the major sevenths. I don't know, maybe it has like a... Maybe it has a saddish quality to it, actually. Oh, dang. Thank you for the heads up. My computer is like pissing me off. Do I have a favorite large tuning now that I have a lumatone, like 34? Or higher? Um, well, if it's 34 or higher, then I'd probably just pick 34, I guess. But I haven't messed with enough of them. I've kind of just been doing 27, 40 and up. You know, I looked at a few that first week. Well, I looked at 43 a couple times recently. 43 is kind of cool. I think I'm partial to 49 so far. Yeah, Variable told me to try 49. And it was kind of too big for me to want to go back to it. But I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, I liked a lot of what it was doing. It's kind of between 27 and 22 in terms of sharpness. and it has some really, it's got like more, it's got like cleaner JI than either of them, but it has SuperPipe logic. It's just so many notes, but it sounds really nice. Yeah, it's got 7 Ito in it too. Yeah, diatonic and anti-diatonic. Oh, interesting. Yeah, 49 was really cool. It's definitely one that's kind of just, yeah, I just think about it every now and again. Like I think, maybe one day after I spend a little time with some of these smaller tunings, when I get hungry for some bigger ones, I think 49 would be cool to check out. I think the layout is kind of like between. Like the thing is though, you have to use like a horizontal Bose K, and I'm realizing I don't really like that layout too much. So I don't know how far I'm gonna push it. I mean, there's enough to do in just one tuning, let alone in 5, which I'm kind of cycling between 5, I think, 22, 26, 27, 31, and 34. So yeah, to add 49 or 53 seems cool. 55 I kind of like too. It might be cool to check out 46 as well. There's definitely a lot of cool tunings. If there's any big Ito worth exploring, probably 53. It's one of the ones. Yeah, it's one of the ones people talk about all the time, so. I don't know. I think I should try 31 first. And then maybe, if I get ambitious, I'll try 41. Maybe I'll work my way up to 53. But yeah, like 27 seems like a kind of a sweet spot for me for the lumatone. Like the layout is like awesome because I have so much range. I don't know if I've shown you this already. I probably have, but I have like literally 6 full octaves. So I have 7 of 9 notes. And this angled Bose K layout I really like. And I just really like the sound of 27. And it has a lot in common with 22, so it's kind of easy to get into 27 from 22, because I mean this is oversimplifying, but it's kind of like you just add neutrals to 22, although again that's definitely oversimplifying, because like the major chord is a lot different in both tunings, and so is the super major, but the minor and subminor are both pretty similar, but then you have neutral in 27. But yeah, they definitely have a lot of differences, but they have more in common than just say 2 random numbers, And then 27 even has some stuff in common with 12, with like the augmented and the major thirds, of course. Well, I mean, that's kind of the same thing, but yeah. So I don't know. 34, I really like, but it's so many notes. But it's not that many more than 31. But the layout's not quite as good as the angled Boson-K. Yeah, 34 is sick though. It's easy to just like get sucked into the 5 limit thirds, but it's got a lot of cool stuff in it beyond that too. But yeah, it's a lot of notes. And in the 2 rings of 17, it's kind of different. It's kind of its own thing. It's not like any other systems I've been looking at. So I'll definitely spend some time on it. But I really want to start looking at 31. And then probably 26 as well, because they have a lot in common. Do I know if these layouts are mathematically optimized? No, I don't. I think there's different things you can optimize for. There's only one Boson-K layout possible per tuning. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, this is a Boson-K for 31, and this is another Boson-K for 31. So this is kind of the default layout that everyone uses for pretty much every tuning. And like you can do this in 22, 27, whatever. But like this is also Boson-K, but it's at an angle. So instead of being horizontal, it's angled, and then as you can see it like there's different chains. So like so there's, yeah, it's kind of got this weaving and up and down kind of thing, whereas this is just straight across. But actually for 31, this is actually more range, so it's more optimal in terms of range. But as you can see, like all the naturals, other than these like stragglers here, they're all in the center, and all your redundancies with your other notes. So it's kind of like not, it's kind of a weird uneven distribution of redundancy. Whereas if you look at this, the redundancy is way more even. But unfortunately you get less range. But only in like mean tone. This layout gives you more range in 27 and more range in 22. So that's just like a happy coincidence of the sharp 5 tunings. It's a happy coincidence that I prefer like the sharp 5 to the flat 5 tunings. You wish you had a lumatone so bad you want to get nerdy about layout maths? Well, that hasn't stopped Romeo's. You could still like get into this stuff, like the layouts. But it'd be cool if you got a lumatone for sure. Yeah, I've been like chatting with like Sound Chaser about lumatone stuff a little bit, which has been cool. Well, I was gonna say something, I can't remember now. Oh well. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Romeo's has been doing some, was doing like when we were looking at 35, he's doing these hobbled layouts. He came up with these hobbled. That's what he calls them. He calls it the hobbled. It's like a hobbled layout. Where like he did it, I think, first in 35, because I was playing that. Yeah, I knew you'd like that. Yeah, he's using it like in a legitimate. Like he's applying it to something with the layouts. So he has like this hobbled 35 layout, and he was doing other hobbled layouts, but like that's like a category of layout now that Romeo's came up with. You've been immortalized. That is right. The Paliac hobbled scale. Yeah, it's very sick. So congratulations. Can I show one of the layouts? Yes, I can actually. Give me a second. I gotta find it. But I definitely have it. I definitely have the 35 one. He sent me a couple actually, but I don't know if they're all properly labeled. But yeah, the way he was talking about it, I kind of understood, but kind of didn't. But I think, I don't know, if we're lucky, he'll just pop in. But I think I can like demonstrate it. Oh, it was 32. It wasn't 35. It was 32 that we were looking at. But yeah, remember we were looking at 32, and it has that, had those weird scales. Maybe I should look at 35 though, because that guy was talking about it. Let me get my thing tuned to 32. Yeah, I think you were here when I was looking at 32. At first, because we were playing with those like almost octaves. And you were saying it sounds like a leading tone, and I was saying I think it just sounds like a mistuned tonic or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was you, but yeah, it was definitely you. And I think Romeo's was there too, or was it variable? I can't remember that. But yeah, Romeo's was definitely there at some point, and we were playing with those scales. But we were in Bose and K, playing with some of those like hobbled scales or whatever. Alright, how do I get this to make sound? It would help if you turned it on. Alright, step 1 accomplished. Alright, is this good? This doesn't sound right. Getting warmer. So, I gotta remember how this thing works. I think it's... So that's the diatonic scale, I guess. And then this... This would be like one of the hobbled scales. And then another one would be oops. No, that's not right. That's one of them. Where's the other one? Right here. So basically the idea is that like you get a Boson-K shape like that. That's like your normal Boson-K kind of shape. But it can go like this or like this. But it optimizes that shape for like the hobbled scale. So you get like an angled Boson-K, but optimized for the hobbled scales. So it's not a Boson-K layout for the diatonic. It's like a Boson-K for a hobbled scale, for the two hobbled scales or whatever. Imagine there's an inconsistency in the mapping of the layout such that it's hobbled. Climbing chains of an interval with alternate types of intervals at some point when it passes. Yeah, I mean you have the two. Yeah, you have the two options here. So I don't know. Does that make sense? Like here's your root and here's your fourth. So you can. This is like not using the diatonic step. It's using the step based off the sharp 5 or whatever, the sharper fifth or the flatter fifth. I'm not sure which one. There's like 2 fifths you can use in 32, but one is like obviously better, but the other one is fine, I guess. I can't remember. It's similar to 23 though. But it's super pith instead of anti-diatonic. It's super pith, so it's kind of weird. But it might have an anti-diatonic, but it's not like Moss diatonic, anti-diatonic. But yeah, you have this alternate step size, and you can use that to get like all these different scales. So that's like a good one. Whereas your Moss diatonic would be like, because it's so sharp. That it kind of sounds weird. Is it only one scale, or does the mapping support all of them? The two leading tone ones. Yeah, I mean it's it'd be like the quasi-diatonic scales. But I like the way he was explaining that he thinks about it was like confusing to me. But he was saying like basically like it was kind of similar. Like the way he was explaining it was like you take a layout from an adjacent Edo and you just apply it to your Edo. So I can't remember what he did for this one, but it might have been like 31 or 33, and he just like took the Boson-K layout from that and just plugged it into 32, and that gives you the hobbled layout or whatever. So yeah. So like if you were in 23 and you wanted the hobbled layout, you would put in the numbers for 24 to get the Bose K or whatever for 24, and it would give you the hobbled layout for that quasi-diatonic. You get what I'm saying, I think. Oh, because I'm not saying it again. I can't even remember what I'm talking about. I'm getting tired. My throat is getting tired. But yeah, the actual diatonic in this is like that's super annoying. It's doable though. It can be done, but not recommended. yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up there for tonight. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody who checked out the stream today. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. I should be back tomorrow doing more of the same. So yeah, I'll see y'all then. Have a good one.